Welcome to Free Mind, a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring human psychology, relationships, beliefs, and personal development. We explain the complexities of human behavior, challenging conventional thinking, and empowering viewers to unlock their full potential. Join us as we dive deep into the realms of the mind. Subscribe now for captivating discussions and transformative insights on the path to personal growth. Today we are going to decode the language of love, exploring male love psychology. Human nature is tricky and not well understood. We exhibit what we do not are in reality. In this game for survival, both genders have their evolutionary insane attitudes they use to win any interaction they engage in. In this video, we are going to explore in detail how men fake different situations to win the hearts of their victims. We will provide deep understanding to women seeking to have balanced and long-lasting romantic relationships. Love involves balanced communication, understand and values your partner, but the reality may be worse. The video shed light on insane techniques men use to win the relationship, women without realizing. These techniques include ghosting, cheating, marrying down, aggression, and finally gaslighting. The video is a vital resource for women seeking to enhance their understanding of manipulation men do in love, and provide adequate means allowing them to alleviate getting trapped in toxic relationships. It is crucial to watch the video to the end so that you get the full package. Facts in this video are connected and interdependent. Knowing then all will allow to stand firmly in relations you will have later on and develop a happy couple and family. Individual experiences may vary, and it's important to approach relationships with open mind and respect for personal differences. Again, welcome to Free Mind channel. Stay with us in this constructive presentation. Technique number 1 is ghosting. Ghosting is a term commonly used in the context of modern communication, particularly in dating and social relationships. It refers to the act of suddenly cutting off all communication with someone, typically in a romantic or interpersonal relationship, without any explanation or warning. When someone is ghosted, it means that the person he was interacting with stops responding to messages, calls, or any form of communication, effectively disappearing from his life without providing any reason for the sudden withdrawal. Ghosting can be hurtful and confusing for the person being ghosted, as he is left wondering what went wrong and why the other person decided to end the relationship without any closure. While ghosting can happen in various relationships, it's particularly common in online dating and virtual communication, where people may not feel the same level of accountability as they would in face-to-face interactions. Ghosting is practiced by both genders but is predominantly found in females than males. From the common sense, ghosting is bad and it devalues the one who uses it as a weapon in a relationship. People attempt to justify ghosting by claiming it as a means of avoiding conflict and safeguarding the person being ghosted from emotional distress. However, they often underestimate the detrimental impact ghosting can have on the individual who has been left without any communication. When a man abruptly stops the attention in the relationships, it means that from the beginning he did not put his attention in the relationship. He ghosts the lady to let her know she was his love puppet and her time has just run off. Men are driven by a sense of curiosity. They engage in exploring women's world by undertaking a number of causal relationships. At the beginning the men seem to pay attention to the relation, but in the reality, He is waiting the moment the lady will fall in this trap. Have sex with the lady. Once the man has managed to sleep with the lady, the man starts his ghosting games in the optic of telling the lady, "I am done with you. I have got what I have been looking for." Protecting oneself from being ghosted in modern dating is essential for women seeking healthy and respectful connections with men. While ghosting is primarily the responsibility of the person doing it, here are 10 steps women can take to minimize the chances of being ghosted and foster meaningful relationships. Set clear expectations. Establish open communication from the start. Discuss intentions and expectations to ensure both parties are on the same page regarding the nature of the relationship. Take things slow and be patient. Building a meaningful connection takes time. Avoid rushing into intense emotional involvement too quickly that they may later regret. Build a solid foundation of trust and friendship before diving into a serious commitment. Observe consistency. Pay attention to a man's actions and consistency in communication. A genuine person will make an effort to stay in touch and won't disappear without explanation. Be authentic, present your true self, and don't pretend to be someone you're not. Authenticity is key to attracting someone who values you for who you are. Maintain independence. Stay connected to your own life, hobbies, and friends. Avoid becoming overly dependent on the person you're dating, as it can be off-putting and lead to ghosting. Identify red flags. Be attentive to warning signs such as excessive craziness, vague responses, or avoiding commitment talks. Bad boys exhibit strange attitudes constantly to measure the maturity of the lady they are targeting as their victim. Trust your instincts and address any concerns early on. Open communication. Encourage open and honest conversations about feelings and expectations. Be receptive to discussions about the relationship's progress and any potential issues. In a case of misunderstanding, express your stand in clear, concise, and polite way. Avoid chasing. If someone starts to pull away, resist the urge to chase them. Do this to measure how far your emotions depend on his presence. Give them space, and if they genuinely care, they'll come back to address the situation. Don't blame yourself if ghosting happens despite your best efforts. Remember that it reflects the other person's shortcomings, not your worth or value as an individual. Learn from experiences. Use past dating experiences to grow emotionally and understand your preferences better. This knowledge will guide you in making healthier choices moving forward. Remember that genuine connections require effort from both parties. While you cannot control someone else's actions, focusing on self-respect, open communication, and mutual understanding will enhance the likelihood of forming a meaningful and lasting relationship. Cheating is technique number 2. Cheating in a relationship is a big betrayal that can hurt both partners deeply and have serious consequences. It is a complex and emotional issue that touches on the core values of honesty, loyalty, and commitment. When one person cheats in a relationship, it breaks the trust and hurts the other person very badly, making them feel betrayed, hurt, and insecure. Cheating can happen in different ways, like being physically involved with someone else or having emotional connections outside the relationship. But no matter how it happens, cheating damages the emotional closeness that is vital for a strong and happy relationship. When someone is cheated, they can feel very strong emotions like anger, sadness, and a deep sense of not being good enough. Before or after engaging in adultery, most cheating partners attempt to justify their actions.
Cheaters know what they're doing is wrong, but they manage to convince themselves it's okay for a number of reasons. You have heard 1,000 reasons why men engage in cheating, but 2 of them worth it. Narcissism and lack of commitment. Narcissistic men are individuals characterized by an excessive preoccupation with themselves, an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy for others, and a constant need for admiration and validation. The past has shaped them in a way that they cannot develop a committed relationship with women. On the other hand, if a man lacks the commitment, it is a sign of immaturity. He is still a small boy unable to carry the heavy load of love. He is discovering himself by playing with different girls. These boys do not worth it when you want to develop a strong relationship. The harsh truth is that good girls fall in the hands of bad boys. Falling in love with such boys is waste of time. They will drag you backwards since they do not have any positivity in them. Back in the time, ladies were armed with a strong sense when it comes to choose their male mate. But the influence of social media and cinema have vanished that faculty in modern ladies. Ladies are no longer able to spot correct men which deserve their company. Nowadays, ladies are driven by the thirsty of building the profiles of their social networks. They choose love puppet to make photo with instead of a mature man able to afford the need of the family. Here we find a lady in the hand of awkward boy. Both narcissistic boyfriend immature boy has premeditated and engage in cheating with a strong decision. They set themselves as they are actually entitled to external sexual gratification. Cheaters are excellent negotiators and they will find ways to confuse their spouse, lessening the guilt of betraying them. Cheaters do not have the sense of stable bonding. With their low self-esteem, cheaters think that the infidelity is a way of exerting control. They really know that broken relationship works on their side since they have nothing to bring on the table of constructive discussion within the couple. Ladies, when you encounter a narcissist cheater, here are the gesture to take. Open communication. Start by initiating an open and honest conversation with the individual involved. Express your feelings and concerns about their actions, and create a safe space for them to share their reasons for cheating. Learn from the experience. Encourage the cheater to learn from their mistakes and grow from the experience. Turning a negative situation into a learning opportunity can be transformative. Evaluate relationship compatibility. Sometimes, despite efforts to address the issue, the relationship may not be salvageable. If patterns of cheating continue, it might be necessary to reevaluate the compatibility of both partners. Self-reflection. Encourage the cheater to reflect on their behavior and its consequences. Help them understand the emotional impact their actions have on others, fostering empathy and accountability. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries and expectations within the relationship. Reinforce the importance of trust and loyalty and discuss the consequences of further infidelity. Focus on self-care. For both parties involved, self-care is crucial. Encourage the cheater to examine their personal well-being and explore healthier coping mechanisms for stress or dissatisfaction. Rebuild trust. If the cheater is genuinely remorseful and willing to change, work together on rebuilding trust. This process requires consistent honesty, reliability, and transparency. Address root causes. Explore the reasons behind the cheating behavior, such as low self-esteem, unmet emotional needs, or past traumas. By addressing these underlying issues, the likelihood of future infidelity decreases. Strengthen relationship bonds. Build the strong emotional connection in the relationship by engaging in activities that promote intimacy, understanding, and bonding. Remember, managing men who have cheated requires a delicate balance of understanding, communication, and commitment to change. Every situation is unique, so adapt these strategies to fit the specific needs and dynamics of the relationship in question. Marrying down is number 3. Dating is so nerve-wracking. Before engage in a date, men ask themselves questions. They wonder whether the lady will be able to cater for the need of the family in his absence or when is not able to do so. Life has become so tough at the extent that the man can provide all the necessary to the family. It's a lot of pressure. Media make us believe that man's tendency to value looks is biologically ingrained in his makeup, but this is not true. The reality is that modern men value the woman's intelligence than her look, just as a woman tends to value a man's stability over his looks. According to social research, men tend to choose a sex male with almost the same social attributes. Men know that the family rely on the input of both men and women. In some cases of interest, men marry down by choosing a life partner with lower educational qualifications, social status, or income than his own. No relationship where both man and woman are truly equal. Even when couples are total equals, there is something that one person will have that the other lacks. Someone is going to make more money, be more attractive, have a better sense of humor. That is just the nature of reality. Marrying a woman with lower status is a good sign of insecurity or a sense of manipulation in men. These men see the marriage as a confrontation they need to win. It is difficult to figure out if you are dating an insecure man. He may be incredibly handsome and successful, yet low self-esteem pushes him to fake love with you. Falling in love isn't the difficult part, sustaining a relationship with an insecure man is the challenge. Insecure men have a tough history which led them to question their self-esteem. They view themselves less worthy. Marrying down is a way of validation since he really knows the spouse is not well armed to challenge him. On the other side of marrying down, we find manipulative men. Recognizing manipulation in your own relationship can be difficult because it might have started out subtle. He knows what your weaknesses are and will use them against you. He makes you believe that he has chosen by true love, offering with gifts and maybe expensive vacations. Over time, manipulative behavior in relationships can become the everyday dynamic with your partner. If his manipulations against you work, he will continue until you decide it has to stop and actively and intentionally put an end to it. Note that relationships are institutions that are constructed on the values and attributes of the mates. Here are suggestions which will help you prevent the incidents of falling in the trap of getting married down. Encourage individual growth. Support personal and professional development for both men and women to create more compatible partnerships based on mutual respect and shared values. Foster financial independence. Encourage women to achieve financial independence, which allows them to make decisions that are not solely dependent on their partner's economic status. Encourage open communication. Emphasize the importance of open and honest communication in relationships to address concerns and ensure both partners are on the same page. Empowerment through knowledge. Provide access to information and resources that empower women to make informed decisions about their relationships and lives. Challenge social norms. Challenge and redefine traditional gender roles and expectations to create a more inclusive and accepting society. The technique number 4 is aggression. Do you think you might be in a destructive relationship? If it hurts or scares you, it's not healthy. Relationships should make both partners feel good about themselves and about each other. However, if you are not a spouse, please keep reading because this may pertain to you anyway. Domestic violence occurs when a relationship is based on power and control. Violence may not be as obvious, but help to firmly establish a pattern of intimidation and control in the relationship. It is most often perpetrated by men against women. The abuse can be physical, verbal, emotional, or sexual. Often, one or more violent incidents are accompanied by an array of other types of abuse.
Love and violence cannot exist together in the same relationship. Most victims love their abusers and want the abuse to stop, but abusers act in loving, caring ways some of the time. At the end, the abused person guesses that there is no live in the relationship as the violence escalates. People often do not understand why a woman stays in an abusive relationship. But the truth is that if you do find yourself in an abusive relationship, the chance is that you may have far lower standards to your mate. It is usually very difficult to leave, even if you aren't married. Maybe because the lady is afraid to lose the ease life offered by the abuser, and she does not have any emotional support to help making rational decision. If you are experiencing aggression or violence within your relationship, it is crucial to take steps to ensure your safety and well-being. Here are some important steps to consider if you want to prevent aggression within your couple. Recognize the signs. Be aware of the signs of aggression, which can include physical violence, emotional abuse, controlling behavior, intimidation, and isolation. Set clear boundaries. Communicate your boundaries to your partner and make sure they understand that aggression is not acceptable in any form. Seek professional help. If you feel safe doing so, consider seeking couples counseling or therapy to address the issues in the relationship and work on healthier communication and conflict resolution. Build a support network. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups to have people you can confide in and seek help from if needed. Create a safety plan. If you are in a situation where your safety is at risk, develop a safety plan with specific steps to take in case of an emergency. Reach out for help. Don't hesitate to seek help from local support organizations, hotlines, or shelters that specialize in assisting victims of domestic violence or aggression. Know your rights. Familiarize yourself with your legal rights and protections against domestic violence or aggression in your country or region. Protect your financial independence. If possible, maintain control over your finances to ensure you have options and resources available if you need to leave the relationship. Trust your instincts. If you feel that the situation is escalating or becoming unsafe, trust your instincts and take steps to protect yourself. Develop an exit strategy. If the aggression continues or escalates, have a plan in place to leave the relationship safely. Remember that addressing aggression within a relationship can be complex and challenging. If you ever feel that your safety is at risk, prioritize your well-being and consider seeking professional help or contacting authorities. Techniques number 5 is gaslighting. Today, gaslighting describes any interaction where a person or entity manipulates someone into feeling they cannot trust their own memories, feelings, or senses. People gaslight in order to deny any wrongdoing on their part and to assert control over what you think and what you do. A person who is gaslighting you may lie to you, blame you for things, and minimize what you're feeling. Someone who is gaslighting you tries to make you feel that you aren't worthy of expressing yourself and that your feelings and emotions are not real or valid. The victim of gaslighting may truly believe that they are not mentally well, that their memories are not accurate, or that their mind is playing tricks on them. This makes them feel dependent on the abusive person. In abusive relationships, gaslighting often occurs gradually. Initially, a person may not seem abusive. But, over time, they may use statements, such as, "You are wrong, you never remember things correctly. Stop overreacting," or "You are too sensitive." This gaslighting may lead to anxiety, depression, isolation, and psychological trauma. All of these can have a long-term impact on someone's mental health and self-esteem. If the gaslighting takes place in a relationship, it is a part of a meditated plan of frightening control. Coercive control is emotional abuse that gives the abuser control over their partner's life. While gaslighting can happen in any relationship regardless of gender, it's essential to address the issue and prevent it from happening. Here are some strategies to prevent gaslighting. Educate yourself. Understand what gaslighting is and how it works. By being aware of its tactics, you can recognize it when it happens and take appropriate action. Trust your instincts. If something feels off in a conversation or relationship, don't dismiss your feelings. Trust your gut and take time to reflect on the situation. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries in your relationships and communicate them assertively. Let others know what behavior is unacceptable and that you won't tolerate gaslighting or any form of emotional abuse. Build self-confidence. When you have a strong sense of self and self-worth, it becomes harder for others to manipulate or undermine your confidence. Seek support. Surround yourself with a supportive network of friends and family who can provide an objective perspective and offer emotional support when needed. Practice assertive communication. Be clear and direct in expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs. Avoid apologizing for things that are not your fault or accepting blame when it's not warranted. Keep a record. If you suspect gaslighting, document incidents where you feel manipulated or your words are twisted. Having a record can help you see patterns and provide evidence if needed. Stay independent. Maintain your own interests, hobbies, and social life outside of any relationship. This independence can help you retain a strong sense of self and make it less likely for someone to control or manipulate you. Be cautious with manipulative individuals. Be aware of red flags in people's behavior, such as excessive flattery, constant blame shifting, or inconsistent statements. If you notice these signs, approach the relationship with caution. Seek professional help if needed. If you're in a situation where gaslighting or emotional abuse is occurring, consider seeking support from a therapist or counselor who can help you navigate the situation and work on building healthier relationships. Remember, gaslighting is a serious form of emotional abuse and should never be tolerated in any relationship. If you find yourself in a situation where gaslighting is occurring, prioritize your well-being and take steps to protect yourself from further harm. In the video on male love psychology, insane techniques to conquer the heart of women were explored: ghosting, cheating, marrying down aggression, and finally, gaslighting and shaming. These techniques shed light on certain behaviors observed in male when trying to win the lady's love in romantic relationships. It is important to approach relationships with open-mindedness and respect for personal differences, as individual experiences may vary. Building healthy relationships requires fair and balanced communication, setting clear boundaries, and understanding the motivations behind certain behaviors. By fostering open communication, honesty, consent, and mutual understanding, individuals can navigate their romantic lives with empowerment and personal growth, fostering fulfilling connections and self-discovery along the way. Free Mind is a YouTube channel dedicated to documented topics of human psychology, relationships, beliefs, and personal development. By challenging conventional thinking and empowering viewers to unlock their full potential, Free Mind provides captivating discussions and transformative insights on the path to personal growth. Subscribe to our channel, like and share our contents. Thank you for watching.